Hi, I'm Kelsey Murray from Tickle Me Pink blog, and today I'm interviewing Christina Padavano from the Valente blog, Amanda Curtis from 19th Amendment, and Jay Calderin, the founder and executive producer of Boston Fashion Week, for an inside look on blogging and the future of fashion.
The Valente currently is a blog where we feature artisans that we believe encompass the idea of slow fashion, which a practice where there's a heart and soul behind every product that's made. So we like to provide the transparency behind what goes into the production of a product so consumers know what they're purchasing.
19th Amendment is a Kickstarter/portfolio platform for emerging fashion designers on which they can connect with consumers directly and sell their designs with little overhead. As I saw so many of my classmates from Parsons who had so much talent and had no channel or no business help in starting a fashion label. 19th Amendment is the future of fashion because we're changing the industry. Fashion is very antiquated, and that you have to have a minimum of $300,000 to even start a brand, and it probably takes about 2 to 3 years. However, the world doesn't operate that way anymore. We have the internet, things happen at lightning speed, and there just isn't a method for designers to work at that pace. So blogging is completely changing the fashion industry. You go to any runway show, the first 2 rows, it's going to be a few photographers and all bloggers. They're making 6 figures now. They are really the forefront of fashion. And I think that consumers trust bloggers a lot more than they do giant media companies.
Fashion Week started in 1995, and it began out of a need. There were all these fashion things happening, but there was no central venue, no central sort of focus on what was happening in fashion. So I had been shooting New York Fashion Week. It was the tents were just starting out at that point, and I thought we could do this in Boston, but it needs to be done a little different for a Boston market. And it started to bring the Boston fashion community together. And, we started working on plans a couple weeks after last Fashion Week. So we've been working since then to get things ready for this year. I use the obvious things like Facebook and Twitter. I don't use Pinterest as much. In my teaching, I actually use it more with my students. A lot of times they have to come up with mood boards. Flickr I don't use as much. I use LinkedIn for professional reasons. I'm just starting to play with Vine, which I love. And Instagram, I'm addicted. Love the filters, love to play. Strategy behind it is really, each channel really has a different voice. I mean, it's all coming from me, but for instance, my Instagram, I shoot just whatever happens to, tickle my imagination. Facebook is more almost sharing information with my students and my readers, whether it be for my blog or my books, either one. Twitter is really kind of a call to action. Like I try to keep people up on, oh, check out this blog, it just got posted, like I just did that a few minutes ago. And getting them rallied around doing something. So they all have their own strategy, and I try to keep it fresh with all of them. I think it's just part of the equation now. I mean, it's a given. But that being said, I think you have to have a reason to be speaking or writing in this case. You can't just have a blog that's kind of self-indulgent. I mean, you can, for you, for fun, but you don't want to think of it as a business venture or as something that's actually a part of the industry unless you really have a voice, unless you're saying something. And that's the key. Like for designers, a fashion designer, let's say, for them to have a blog, it would have to be something, a reason why people go there other than the clothes, because they're already interested in that designer. So each one of these social media channels becomes a facet of your personality. It's almost like when you make new friends in different disciplines. Like, you go take a cooking class at a school, and all of a sudden that's a new group of friends that you're tapping into. There may be crossover, but you share a passion. So I think blogs allow you that access into the designer, and since clothes are clothes, I mean, for me, clothes are clothes in the end. what people buy into is storytelling and lifestyle and fantasy, and you can only create that by sharing stories, and blogs are a great way to do that.